Happy Friday, Almond Grove staff and students. We are so proud of all of our students for all the hard work they're doing during remote learning. We hope you're all out there in your mismatch wear. Don't forget, boys and girls, that next week, Friday, November 13th, is Crazy Sock Day. We look forward to seeing all the crazy socks out there. All right, let's get ready for our upper grade shout-outs. In Miss Lee's class, our shout out goes to Victoria Peretta. Victoria, you are so attentive during all of the Zooms. You log in and follow all instructions. You have made great progress in your sight words, in your CVC words, and even telling time. Victoria, we are so proud of your focus, your efforts, and your positive attitude. Keep it up. I shout out in Mrs. Kroback's class to Leilani Francis. Leilani has been contributing so much more to our Zoom sessions, and she is so patient. She's a brilliant writer, and now she can even type her stories. Her math skills have improved so much, and she is always working so carefully to make sure that she gets her assignments turned in regularly. Great job. A shout out from Mrs. Dalton this week goes to Zara Lutfi. Zara, you are an excellent student. You are always on time to all the Zoom classes. You love to learn, and you are always smiling. Thank you, Zara, for making Miss Candace and Mrs. Dalton's day when we see you and that smile. A shout out in Mrs. Miller's class goes to Harmon Verk. Harmon is so enthusiastic about learning, always willing to participate when called upon, and has an excellent reading and speaking voice. Keep up the great work, Harmon. In Mrs. Ferracci's class, we'd like to shout out Peyton Moriana. Peyton has been working so hard in class, showing up to Zooms and completing all of her assignments. She has really demonstrated kindness towards her classmates, and she's even shared some great tips with our class. We really appreciate all your involvement in class discussions. In Mrs. Bowen's class, our shout out this week goes to Brooklyn Bellamy, who has star, dashed, and dotted her way into a shout out. Her opinion writing is so clear, so specific, and full of such great details. Brooklyn, you are a very skilled writer with great voice and passion in your words. Keep it up, Brooklyn. Our shout out in Mrs. Holton's class. This Flipgrid video goes to Scarlett Broman, Sidra Smith, Maddie Bensler, and Delea Logan. You have all been brave enough to create a Flipgrid video and sing one of our skip counting songs. An extra loud Yahoo goes to Eliana for singing 4 of our songs and finding the music to even accompany in the background. Wow, what rock stars in Mrs. Holton's class. Keep up the great work. A shout out for a super scholar in room 21 goes to Sarai Othman. Sarai is a super scholar who gets on Zoom every day. She's always ready to learn. She turns in all her remote learning and always asks clarifying questions. She is so patient, and Sarai always waits her turn to answer with a friendly smile on her face. You are a super scholar. Keep up the great work. In Mrs. Mayhem's class, our shout out this week goes to William Turner. William's star reading score increased over a full grade level. Keep up the awesome reading work, Will. We are so very proud of you. A shout out in Mrs. Files' class. This week the shout out goes to Haley Wynn. Haley, you always have a positive, can-do attitude during the class meetings. You ask for help when needed, such an important skill, and you participate during WebEx meetings. Haley works hard on her assignments and even scored a 4 on the mid-module math assessment. Way to go, Haley. In Mrs. Cargo's class, our shout out goes to J.D. Hazel for his all-around excellence. He is on time, he actively participates during the meetings, and always puts his best effort towards his schoolwork, has a smile, is always ready to help, and has a great attitude. Thank you, JD. Our shout out in Mrs. Mice's class comes from Miss Mice and Mr. Fox, who would like to shout out Mason Pell for his continued efforts during this entire school year. He turns his work in on time and he scores well on every assessment. Mason, we love how you come to class every day with a positive attitude and a willingness to learn. Great job, Mason. And our last shout out for our upper grades goes from Mrs. Chandler. Also a shout out to J.D. Hazel. J.D. Hazel, Mrs. Chandler really loves how you amaze her with your attentiveness and your participation, and you are always so well spoken. You are a true joy as a student to have in our library. Mrs. Chandler says, thanks, buddy. Keep up the great work. Boys and girls, I'm so proud of everything you're doing during remote learning. Continue to show up on time and always give your best. Have a great weekend. See you next week.